3:30 a.m. That must mean it's time for the Tim Chervenak Show with your host, Tim Chervenak.
Hi, and welcome to the Tim Chervenak Show. Today we have a very special show. For many years, it's been debated whether a person who is clinically dead could come back to life and join the living. For many years, there's only one person who supported that theory. Unfortunately, Elvis Presley cannot be here on the Tim Chervenak Show. But instead, sitting to my right, we have a man who claims to have come back from the dead and joined the living. Sitting here to my right is Sir Francis Drake. Thank you, Tim, and it's great to be here, but please, call me Francis. Okay, Sir Francis, we'll get back to you in a second. But first, I would like to remind our viewers that the Tim Chervenak Show celebrates its 150th episode next week. And on that show, we have a very great guest lineup. We have a popular rock and roll group called Hall & Oates. I hear they're very popular these days. They're going to be making an appearance. And funny man Yakov Smirnoff will be joining us. So that should be a great one. And also, I'd like to remind viewers that Werther's Original Candy supports the Tim Chervenak Show. Werther's candies, they're delicious. Nothing says lovin' like a Werther's Original. Now, Sir Francis, why have you come back from the dead? The number one reason that why I'm back is to kick Mike Tyson's ass. The second reason, to once again circumnavigate the world. For those viewers who have been inside a cave for the last 300 years, could you give us a little background information on yourself? I am Sir Francis Drake, one of the most renowned English seamen of the Elizabethan era. I was the second man to circumnavigate the world and the first Englishman to do it. I'm also the person who had a great effect on the naval superiority passing from Spain to England. For a man who supposedly died several hundred years ago, you sure do dress modernly. What's up with that? Hey, what can I say? I love the Charlotte Hornets. Go LJ! Oh, how amusing. What's that? We're running a little late here. Okay, so we're going to throw it to a commercial right here, and we'll be right back with Sir Francis Drake. It's thought-provoking. It's controversial. It can only be the Scotty Show. Scotty's not a right-wing stuffed shirt or a liberal nut. Catch his show right here after the Tim Chervenak Show. Ha, Scotty, he's always on the move. We're back from that little public service announcement, and I'm here with Sir Francis Drake. Sir Francis, could you tell us a little bit about your childhood, your early life? Well, in 1544, I was born in Devonshire, England, on the estate of Lord Francis Russell. My father was one of Lord Russell's tenant farmers. Though my family had to flee the West Country, and because the Catholics were uprising. My pappy was right when he told me never to trust a Catholic. Isn't it true you even hate Spaniards more than you do Catholics? Ah, how dare you mention the name of those blasphemous Spaniards. I have devoted my life to fighting their race. Why do you hate Spaniards so much? Well, early in my sailing career, I served under my cousin, Sir John Hawkins. One day in the port of Veracruz, those Spaniard fools attacked us. They destroyed all but two of our ships, and I nearly lost everything I possessed. Besides Spaniards and Catholics, who else do you feel is a threat to mankind? Women drivers. Please, let's get back to seriousness now. Just a little while ago, you made a reference to your cousin, Sir John Hawkins. Could you tell us a little bit more about this fellow? Certainly. My cousin John Hawkins was the man who gave me my first command. We often sailed together, plundering Spanish settlements. We even died together. On our last voyage together, we both contracted dysentery, which is an acute internal disorder, and we were both buried at sea. It was sad, it was. But anyways, I guess you could say I'm making a comeback. I believe you said you brung along a clip of actual footage of you plundering a Spanish village. I think we're going to roll that right now.
was that? Hi, is that you? Guess not. Hey, what the?
Those people didn't look very Spanish. Screw the Spanish people. When are we going to talk about my circumnavigation of the world? Hey, first of all, please show everybody a little respect. Second of all, I am the host, and I will tell you what topics we can or cannot talk about. So why don't we talk about your circumnavigation of the world? Why, certainly. I was secretly commissioned by Queen Elizabeth I, God bless her soul, and her war council. They had hoped that this would end the Spanish monopoly on the trade in the Pacific. So they gave me 5 ships and 166 men, and I set off from Plymouth, England. I had hoped to pass through the Strait of Magellan near the southern tip of South America. I also wanted to explore the waters I had seen from the Isthmus of Panama. Unfortunately, though, all 4 of my ships were either sunk or they had turned back because the waters were too rough. Only my ship, the Golden Hind, remained, and I sailed on. Wow, you must have been very brave. Of course I was. But just between you and me, Tim, I also plundered Spanish settlements in Chile and Peru, and I also captured Spanish ships going to Panama. Isn't it true you also paid a visit to America? Yes, it is. You see, Tim, I sailed northward to the California coast and claimed it for the name of my queen. But to avoid going back the way I came and avoiding those Spanish bums, I did what Ferdinand Magellan had done. I circled around the world, going past the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. About 3 years later, I came back to England, and Queen Elizabeth was proud. Wow, what an accomplishment. What sort of fame did you receive when you returned? Well, I got to share the treasure I had brought back, which was mostly Spanish silver, with the Queen. She also knighted me, even though she knew this would infuriate the Spaniards. I also was a member of Parliament for 2 years, and I also served as mayor of Plymouth, England for 4 years. Wow, all in all, that's a very impressive career. But what do you say to the allegations that you are a very violent man with no backbone? Hey, I'm Sir Francis Drake, baby. Get a piece while you can. I'm the best thing to come out of England since the Beatles. In fact, I do a great impersonation of the Beatles. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, and I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home to you, some of the things that you do, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Hey, hey. Yeah, that's very nice, Sir Francis. How do you feel your parents influenced you becoming a sailor? Well, first of all, if I had stayed in the West Country without the interference of those Catholics, I might have become a human farmer. But my family's poverty at last drove me to the sea. Perhaps it is for the better. Tim, may I make an announcement? Sure, feel free to. I would like to announce that I have found a person who will replace my partner in crime, Sir John Hawkins. Please welcome Stinky the Puppet. Hello, Sir Francis. Hello, Stinky. Hello, Tim. Hello, Stinky. Sir Francis, what are you going to do now that you're back from the dead? What's your first move? First of all, I'm going to win the next Ultimate Fighting Championship. Next, I'm going to circumnavigate the world with Stinky the Puppet at my side as my first mate. Now, your father, he was a Protestant preacher. Have you ever thought about going into a religious field? Nah, I'm more of an entertainer. I do a great impersonation of the Fonz. Hey, what up? I'm cool. I'm the Fonz. People love that at parties. But, Timothy, if I was not an entertainer, I would play for the Charlotte Hornets. Go Charlotte, go LJ, go Alonzo, go Muggsy. Back to your career before you died. What do you feel was your greatest accomplishment before you died and were buried at sea? Well, in a major war that broke out with Spain in 1585, I led a daring expedition to Cadiz, Spain. There I destroyed so many Spanish ships that they had to put off an expedition that they were planning to make to England to attack us. They had to put it off for a whole year. That was a great one. I remember that one well. Hey, hey, hey. Francis, do you have any last words for the folks at home who are considering on becoming a violent, ruthless sea dog? The only advice I would give to a person thinking of becoming a sea dog Give them hell. Thank you for coming here tonight, Sir Drake, and I hope you and Stinky will visit us once again. It was a pleasure, Tim. Well, that's all for tonight, folks. I hope you join us next week when the Tim Chervenak Show celebrates its 150th episode. Thank you and good night.